Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising in Venus. Welcome. I'm David. That's the Warriors of Light Astro Tarot. I'm doing a special reading this week for all the signs, and it's a love reading just with the 8 cards, not emphasizing so much the other person as with the heart spread. It's always a relationship reading. This is more just trying to look at you, kind of a snapshot where you are in terms of love, romance, and relationship, existing energy, kind of where you're at, challenges, advice from spirit here, and outcome, great outcome. But it's really solid all the way through. You start with this Knight of Pentacles, and you end up, I know, with the King of Cups. This is really key in this reading. Okay, it's kind of over. That's the reading. The Knight finally gets where he's going and mellows out on the way. That's kind of the story. Yeah, giveaway. And you know the energy of looking for the ships to come in. You know, also 3 of Wands, it's action, taking action, going out and trying to make something happen, looking for something. You know, it's that part of manifestation where you're just really focusing on, you know, what it is you're really looking for. What is it you want to see arrive? Gilded Tarot Royale's the deck, if you give a darn. So you're coming in with the Knight of Pentacles over the 5 of Cups. You know, in the past, this is kind of unconscious position. The 5 of Cups would have been heartache, heartbreak, romance, love, that kind of thing. Here could go all the way back, you know, and like would for me, you know, you'd have like issues going all the way back into your childhood with being abandonment issues. You know, heartache, incompatibility, betrayal, not 5 of Cups, just think those type of things. But here you are, the Knight of Pentacles, like you're trying to be strong. And here, I'll make it clear, Libra, you know, it's not a bad thing to try to be strong. You're facing a lot of challenges by transits. You know, you've got Jupiter opposing you. I think it's at 6 degrees Aries, going to 8. You've got also the Charon wound there is huge, you know, and Mars there this month, this last week, just punched through the Charon wound, and that could have been opposing your sun, you know, it was at 16 degrees Aries. But no matter where your sun is in Aries, but that's right in the middle. So you either were dealing with Charon over the few years ago or recently, or you will be soon or in a few years. In terms of an opposition to the sun, which you can Google or YouTube that. I mean, you're going to really see the soul wound. Like, this could be particularly hard. You can't always say this from sun sign, but Libra energy as an archetype, you know, really doesn't want to look at all that dark stuff, you know. And that could involve, when you get the sun on Pluto or the sun on Charon, well, that, you know, that could involve exposing something dark. You're going to have the sun squaring you later in the month. It's going to be in a T-square between Pluto, the sun, and if you're at a later degree, Libra, like it's going to around 27, you know, and that could be really intense too. But this is the energy of just keeping on, being the Knight of Pentacles, kind of raw. But then being that this is what's, you know, squaring you is the 6 of Swords over the 6 of Pentacles, 2 sixes. And I think it's like you're trying too hard to stay fair, probably in a situation that's not fair, or where by being fair, it's not fair for you. In other words, like you're literally, you're with this Knight of Pentacles, you're pulling someone else's weight. You're pulling someone else's weight. You're paying Libra someone else's karma in some very kind of solid way with 6 Pentacles, like you're living with them, they pay no rent, etc. Just, you know, not to go too far deep into that, but you know how it would manifest. But it would very much saying that if this is what's blocking you, then you need to be famous, stage right here with the 6 of Swords, but you're not. So you really, to cope with this pain, you know, which could go all back to childhood here, Libra, but you know, here's your Charon wound right here, right? 16 degrees, you know, Aries. And you know, to deal with it, you're just being the strong guy, the strong girl, the strong man, the strong woman, strong mom, strong dad, strong friend, strong lover that's always like capable of just pushing through, um, and kind of being the rock. And I gotta watch my guards and my magic bag of stones. Hold on. So we got a nice wind. So, much as I love the wind, come at a kind of a weird time. So, secure these before I get back to this. And, yeah. So this is advice from Spirit over here, and you get to the Three of Cups over the Knight of Cups. Honestly, this is enjoying the romance phase. This is it might sound corny as hell. This is getting out. If you're single, if you're not, getting out and having fun and letting your hair down. This Three of Cups and in this position of advice, and with the Knight of Cups, you know, it involves a lot of feeling. You know, doing something that you really love doing, and this really is to me not meant to be a romance reading. This particular reading. But this screams the energy of romance to me. I gotta be honest with you. It really screams the energy of, you know, what they call summertime romance. Summertime, summertime, summertime. It's a summertime romance. And now, that doesn't have to mean even that it's anything spurious, but I think it would mean that it's got that kind of excitement to it and ease here. You know, with the Six of Swords and the Six of Pentacles, it's forgiving yourself. And that's corny too. This is like, because this is the blocking. So this is a need to forgive ourselves. Six of Swords, Six of Pentacles. And, you know, to not always feel like we have to get everything perfect. Six of Swords, Six of Pentacles. Not to feel like every time we don't get it right. Like, you know, this could be too, Six of Swords, Six of Pentacles. Exactly that energy of you have to figure everything out. Like, it was a miracle to me in adult children alcoholics when it sunk in. Somebody helped me with it, and they said, like, look, you know, you don't have to figure everything out. It's not your job. Like, you don't really have to figure anything out. You know, it's kind of if you want to. Sometimes it's helpful to figure things out, especially if there's a problem. And I'm like, wait, back up. You mean I don't have to figure everything out for everyone? Any little thing? No, no, no. And that could be this here, and it's such a dramatic energy going from the Knight of Pentacles to the Three of Cups, and this is the position of advice. Spirits has nothing to do with threesomes, or unless that's what you're into, and your partner, then that's great. Probably definitely that's 100% what that's about. But it would definitely be the energy of really letting the hair down, loosening up, having fun. In a major way, like you've been like a soldier, Libra, and now it's saying for you to be less of a soldier, you know, and more of a vacationer kind of energy, which is not a bad advice from Spirit, and that the romance is very well encouraged here with this Knight of Cups, and the fact that the Knight of Cups is going towards this King of Cups, and how seeing how you're of course an air sign. I had to think you're moving towards a Cancer, because look, you got the Chariot, the Cancer card over the King of Cups in the outcome. I don't want this to be a love reading, but I think this somehow is going to work with you. So Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Got to think about that Cancer energy, but that's going to be stand out and be prominent. It's someone that's mature, emotionally mature. This is someone who's spiritual. The Chariot over the King of Cups. I think this is someone who's very spiritual, male or female. It's not the point there to that just because it's a king, but they're someone who is maybe a little bit older, very comfortable with themselves, and you're meeting them very well. Like to put it like you know, crudely, maybe you have water in your you know, chart. You know, you have a water Mars. Which you could well have, or you have a water Venus, and you meet them in this way. And it's sort of like, if they're coming in with this Chariot and the King of Cups, you wouldn't really think of them. They probably need to let their hair down too, or they could be at this point where they can just let their hair down, like isn't much of an issue. Like, but for you, it could be too about stepping to a next level. And with the Chariot, I always see that as stepping into our soul's path, and stepping into alignment with what it is you have to want to do. The Chariot's that vehicle that goes from the past to the future, right? It's kind of magical. But I can't help but also see this kind of channeling in this Cancer energy in terms of, it just looks like a lover. I don't even want to say friend. That Knight of Cups, are really good friends, like, besties. Suddenly you have a bestie, and you guys are just giggling it up, like, type of energy. And they're this strong Cancerian, mature, probably spiritual, on the journey, light worker, healer, or something. Thank you, guys. Let me know what you think. I really love your comments. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff.